This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. Episode 163. 6 more weeks, Lilith.
You ready?
Oh, you should plan that show. All right, anyway. Thanks for joining us again. I am Phil. Joining me as always, that healthy, that's right, he has the paperwork to prove it, robust young man from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Esther. My cholesterol is within normal limits.
Woohoo!
Woo!
And that nice, young, considerate young lady from Florida. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Lilith Hellfire, Queen of the Armadillos, just looking for some D.
Ooh. D-Man?
Yes, possibly.
Looking for what?
D-Man.
Oh.
Dennis Duffy.
Oh,
The Demolition Man.
What you said?
Pink
Looking for
Mohawk and all.
man.
Anyway.
Man, you Little Hellfire is out of control. What the F?
What the F?
Sounds like a plan, G.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
What the F? Thank you, Ray. Checking in. Anyway, so I think the big news that hit the almost broke the internet this week, superhero wise, Michael Keaton returning as Batman for the Flash movie. Woo!
When you need to get butts in the seats or clicks on that video on demand.
So has DC just like thrown the towel in and be like, yeah, we're not getting anybody new in here. We got to bring all the old people back.
They decided.
Nobody wants to see Ezra Miller as the Flash. That's the
problem. Yeah. No one wants to see that
movie. Going to happen. Now that they've said this, they have to make it happen.
They're going to sweeten that pot on that movie. I know.
You can say it's going to happen and not do it. Hollywood does that all the time, literally. All the time.
Yeah, but do you think they could actually? Can you throw out a name like Michael Keaton, and then if he doesn't show up, is he going to be like, "Hey, why
if he gets confirmed, they're in talks. No, but if it gets,
they're in talks.
I know I was Batman, but I haven't come back for him.
That's good negotiating strength for him. I mean, look how the way the internet.
He's done so much great stuff. Birdman.
Vulture and Spider-Man. He's just like, hey, look at the outcrowd of the internet, man. Pay me.
Now, kids, I know you don't remember the before 4 times. Let me take you back.
Mom, we know.
No, let me take you back to a year called 1989.
Batman.
And in 1989, we had a young upstart named of Tim Burton who wanted to make his own Batman story.
Batman.
And the most controversial thing, this is when controversies were controversies, was they didn't even ask Adam West to do a cameo. And Adam West, they didn't even ask me, was kind of a meme back before there was memes, but it was a whole thing. But at that time, Tim Burton and everyone else at DC said, look, we've got Superman, we got the Superman franchise, we have been making bank on the superhero stuff for years. We got a new, refreshed universe. We're going to build it out. We don't need to just cater to the nostalgia crowd. We got this young upstart kid named Michael Keaton that no one thought could do it, but he was an underdog. And Michael Keaton, reinvigorated Batman, reinvigorated the entire DC movie ideal. And, the thing is...
the whole superhero genre at that point.
Really, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And that's the thing with these DC kids. This is why, you see, DC kids never had to have a red, brown Captain America and be happy. And you can tell it. You can tell these kids don't know the struggle. They don't know what it was like to be the company that didn't make good superhero films. And now they're so mad and so defensive. Well, now they do, but it's like they feel that they just deserve everyone to like what they like. And, that's not how movies work. And just reaching back for that nostalgia thing. And here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll really say. Bringing back him as Batman is a bad idea.
Oh, controversial statement by Charles Esther.
No, if they really wanted to honor that legacy, you cast him as Alfred. You cast him as Commissioner Gordon. You give him an age-appropriate role for a man. He played the Vulture. Have you seen the Vulture in the comic books?
Yeah.
Have you seen that decrepit old man that he was playing? Yeah, he still has his full head of hair, though that might be a piece. I don't know. At this point, probably is. It was receding back in '89 too.
Ages in those movies are out the window. I mean, Marissa Tomei is Aunt May. Come on.
Though actually, she's what it is, and I've gone into that before. You don't have as many older aunts because in an era with adequate birth control, children are usually closer spaced.
And we don't have to use them as farm animals anymore either, because
exactly. So
6 of them might die from the rickets.
So yeah. So I think Benjamin Parker's younger brother was kind of that surprise brother that you get later in life. Like
Change
it was
life, baby. Yep.
Yeah, there was like a decade between the two of loved each other dearly, and always looked up to his big brother, and always was there to support his little brother, and yada yada yada. So they have this great relationship. But that close in age family members, that's I mean you always had close in age family members if they didn't die. But that idea of having that elderly aunt taking care of you, that wasn't a weird thing in 1963. So it's so in our modern age, and actually for what it's worth, 1963 50 is about 2020's 80. Yeah, it's like the difference is about the same. It's just that what you get to be that old now, you have to be much, much older.
Not in those big people smoking cigarettes. We got the yoga. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go see this movie. Period. Ezra # not my Flash. I have not been on board for a long time about this, even before all the other controversies with him. So if this is gonna put butts in the seats, if AT&T needs to make this movie, they can make that movie. If they think that's what's going to draw people in, I'll just remind them that they thought that Ben Affleck was going to draw people in and keep them safe from criticism. Didn't work out for you, did it?
You can't do that if you don't write the script first.
Shots fired.
Well, they've written 8 scripts for The Flash at this point. And at this point, why don't you go back to Greg Berlanti? Let's go back to the Barry Allen with the blonde hair. That's why that they're trying to slowly change it into the TV show, because the original TV show is based on the script that actually got turned into Green Lantern. It's a whole thing, and now they're trying to revert back to that Greg Berlanti plan. And it's like, well, we have the TV show. I'm not going to go to the movie if it's just a TV show because Grant Gustin is my Flash.
I was going to say, just give Grant
wouldn't
the movie.
You?
Just give Grant the movie.
I don't care for Ezra. I'm not going to support that.
Just give it to Grant. He has a fan base. He's proven himself over 6 seasons already. Just give it to Grant.
I'm just going to say this right now. Star Trek the motion picture made money. Next Generation, the motion picture made money. People will go see their TV show as a movie if it's good. Just give
it to Greg Berlanti. He has a proven track record. As much as I have issues with Greg, just give it to him. If you really want to make the Flash movie, just make it Flash.
Have that cast make that Flash movie, put it out in the summer. You'll be like, hey, well, this show's not on. Hey, between seasons, hey, look, we got a movie. Extra Flash.
And they did that with X-Files. Again, bank. And that wasn't even off the air. Yes, it wasn't even off the air. But like Phil said, they did a summer movie at the theaters. Now, and then I think the first episode of the next season, they acknowledged the movie and then never thereafter.
That is correct, sir.
That is a problem. But
after that particular season, they had to do so much shenanigans and flim-flamming that it's okay.
Yeah.
And then plus Duchovny was leaving, and yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was
well,
always
yeah.
that back and forth thing. So X-Files
Yeah,
is
that's
weird.
I think that's why the Star Trek movies did better. I think is because there wasn't a competing Star Trek property on TV. But if you did because this is the last season of The Flash, isn't it? Or
No.
oh, it's not. Oh, then they should do a Green Arrow movie. There you go. It's same people, and no one cares. So do a Green Lantern movie.
Get back in that gym, Stephen Amell.
You know what?
Let him eat his ice cream and be with his daughter. Damn it!
If he wanted to eat ice, he can be with his daughter. He just can't eat the ice cream. You can be with your daughter.
Ice cream for 8 years. Leave that man alone.
You know what? They need him to be the guy who teaches Bruce to be Batman. There you go.
Ooh,
that would
I'm
be
getting too old for this young guy from Sparkle Vampire, but you can be the Batman.
More than that. We're gonna leave Bat-Pat alone. I told you guys until you.
I just couldn't remember his name. Pattinson something.
It's
Patton
Bat-Pat.
Oswalt. Yes.
Patton Oswalt is the Penguin, maybe.
I want Patton Oswalt in anything. Have you seen him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? No, because he was only in the first two
Veronica Mars
episodes.
revival. I just got done watching that, by the way. He is excellent.
I'm sure he is. He's good in pretty much everything he does. Honestly, he's kind of a John Wayne type where he kind of plays the same character with subtle variations.
Yes.
But he's got those variations down pat.
Get it, Pat.
Well, yes.
I'm sorry, I have to do that now to annoy Chantel. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, but I will say, I will say that Patton Oswalt. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they had said they had cast Patton Oswalt as old Batman, I'd say I'm into this.
Hey, if Tom Cruise can pretend to be 6'2", we can pretend like Patton Oswalt is 6'2". Get that man an apple box.
You know what? The guy he's rich now, so he's lost weight. Because that's what happens when you get rich.
All right,
you get to live better.
All right,
exactly.
I got two questions about this. One, is this going to spin off into either an Old Man Batman movie franchise,
Batman Beyond, baby,
or Batman Beyond? Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if they had said we're doing a Batman Beyond story,
that would make more sense, to be honest.
Tying it to the Flash.
Well, maybe they're waiting to see if
that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Exactly.
Maybe they already have the plans for Batman Beyond, and they're just waiting for Keaton to confirm that he wants to do it.
But then lead with that.
No need to tie this to Flashpoint. I mean, whatever they're going
to do. Well,
do.
They're opening up the multiverse.
At first, it wasn't going to be the Flash. Like this script has been rewritten. Like I think I'm at 12 right now.
Yeah, honestly. They're having a hard time with the Flash. And they're having a hard time with the Flash expressly because there's already a Flash TV show.
No, because of Justice League, what they made that be.
Because Ezra Miller.
Yes.
Well, no, but I think that trying to create a secondary version of the same character that's already existing in another media that you already control is difficult.
And the same exact character. I mean, they have so many other Flashes.
They should have done Wally.
Yeah, they could have done Wally West.
They can't do Jay because it's got to be hip, baby. It's got to be hip.
Yeah.
Jay Garrick can be hip.
Not according to the look. I love Jay more than anybody.
Hip, not break.
You're preaching to the choir.
Hip, not break a hip.
Actually, technically, the word is hep, not hip. It was hep, and it got bastardized to hip by later generations.
English language always growing and evolving and making it easier. It's why that's why we don't use the word should or will it. Will it got changed to won't because we're lazy. I love that.
Yes. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, really, the entire problem with the expansive DCEU is, and I got into a fight with one of our friends here on the Southgate Media Group Network,
Charles Skaggs, yes,
who was very adamant that this is all a good thing, and I'll agree to disagree.
Did you tell him he was a sweet summer child and we love his positivity?
No, because I see it for what it is. I'm an old man.
Listen, I know a bad idea when I see one, when I hear one, when I read one. There ain't nothing I like about the Flash movie, period.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that really they should. But he was saying, they want to have this interconnectedness of an expansive multiverse.
It's been hurting it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I so want the Flash movie to be good, but everything about Ezra Miller's Flash leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I want that Flash movie to be good. I hope it is, but it's just Ezra Miller. Ew.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even mind Ezra Miller. I just can tell that there's obviously problems. I don't know where those problems come from. Maybe it's corporate suits. Maybe it's unfocused creatives. Whatever it is,
Damn suits.
There's clearly problems. There isn't a steady hand like a Patton Oswalt on the rudder at that place. You need that graybeard who can say, "I've been here before. I can take you through these waters."
I get it. We're gonna talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on super connectivity. I get it.
No. But I'm just saying. Well, they're actually doing okay, even though Patton Oswalt has not been in the last.
Oh yeah, it's been good. It's been great.
Yes,
Last
don't want to give it all too much away, but
Yeah, I'm not excited. I don't think this movie should be made. I think that, in light of the fact that they're going ahead with that whole Bat thing, and it's time to start clean. I'm sorry, there's the skid is too long. It's too much. It's nothing but a skid river at this point, and I don't want to cross it in a boat.
Is it too much for the general public that we're doing multiple Batman now? People who
No, I don't think it's too much. I just think that whatever you put out in multiple versions has to be good, and that's their problem.
Yeah.
It's not good, and this is not a subjective opinion. It's very objectively bad.
Maybe they should focus on
actually get the cartoons back. Can we get some good cartoons back, please?
Bring back
Ghosts still on TV.
Bring back Batman the Animated Series. I mean, get Kevin Conroy in there to record whatever you can get him to record while he's still alive. Do it.
See, now he'd be good for Batman Beyond too. That's the thing. Is if you really want to do Batman Beyond.
Oh well, yeah, he did the voice. Yeah.
Well, exactly. He's old enough to do it. He's great. You could and we saw him. He did his audition piece for the Batman Beyond movie. It's literally you can ask me to come back, and I look like the character. It's
on that note, they didn't even ask me. I think that haunted them, and that's why we have these such great callbacks and cameos and all these other TV shows and properties too.
Well, yeah, and that's fair,
Well,
but
Lilith, do you think maybe this has been in the works for a little bit? Because is this why Keaton didn't show up for Crisis?
I think that has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I think this is just some flim flam shenanigans going on to get some buzz generated, because nobody has said a single nice thing about the Ezra Miller Flash movie in a very long time.
But what I'm going to say,
I don't even know if it's going to go through. I don't even know if he wants to be a part of this mess. That's the whole thing.
Here's what I will say. Bringing back Michael Keaton is for my generation.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not for the people buying comic books today. It's not for the people. Yeah.
Isn't that our generation? The people buying comic books today?
Well, you guys are actually both of a later generation than me. I'm Gen X. You guys are millennials.
I'm a millennial. Phil, aren't you on the cusp?
I was born in 78. What am I?
Yeah, you are Gen X at the very tail end.
Well, actually,
I know I look young and pretty.
There's debate about that, but yes, okay.
I know I look young and pretty.
Generations aren't real. Stop subscribing to these freaking social constructs.
But my real point is, and yes, and and Phil might be at the very end of that. Yes, I will give that. But the reality is that Michael Keaton existed in a much earlier time. There have been more influential Batmen who were there for Phil's formative years, and basically Kevin Conroy is that Batman. Where if you said we're going to do live action Kevin Conroy, just like it did in Crisis or in Crisis with Batwoman, it actually got people really let's put our butts in that seat, our seats for that.
But again, too, is it the name brand too? Because there's people out there that didn't watch any of that animation, but they saw those 89 and they saw those Keaton Batman movies.
No, what it is, Phil, is Keaton did a film making fun of the fact that he is associated with Batman called Birdman. He then came back hard in a Marvel film further pushing that Marvel redeems fallen DC heroes meme. And the DC felt we've got to do something. It just every aspect of it is desperation. There is nothing of it that doesn't smell of flop sweat.
Well, I mean,
that's really all there is to it.
Well, it's even with the comics now too. DC used to be the people who would be like, "Oh yeah, let's reboot and start over." Now they see the success Marvel's getting, and they're like, "Everything counts."
Well, everything always counted at Marvel. Even when they were rebooting, they'd say, and they actually came up with the whole sliding time idea. It's like it still counts, it still happened, but time keeps on slipping.
Time isn't real. Don't subscribe to that
into
social
the
construct
future.
either.
Oh yeah, well, no, sliding time, like okay, in the comics, when Tony Stark first showed up, it was the Korean War, wasn't it? Or then it was the Vietnam.
No, it was the Vietnam War, yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, we'd been done with Korea by that point.
Well, yeah, but I was.
Vietnam War ended in the mid-50s.
Yeah, but
it was actually almost a decade between the Korean and the Vietnamese War, unless you count the French.
Yeah, because Iron Man was.
Because the French started in the 50s.
Yeah.
The French started the Vietnam War in the 50s.
And lost terribly. And said, "Hey, can you help us?"
Well, that's why imperialism is a bad idea. We honestly, I think we learned an important lesson in the Philippines. That it just holding that foreign nation was hard and cost way more lives than it was worth because apparently people don't like being colonies. You'd think that America would understand that concept, And yes, I know you can say
that British DNA too far in us,
I mean, Guam and Puerto Rico we're making it work, and American Samoa, but
that's debatable.
Then you have those prison colonies,
Gobble gobble.
Wait, what?
Well, that's a British prison colony.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not.
And not all Australians were prisoners. There
know.
were prisoners in Australia. There were prisoners in America too. There were lots of people. England did like to ship out,
as debtors for debtor prisons. Yes.
Yeah, well, as all kinds of people in all kinds of situations, because that's what England did. They weren't sending their best people,
Well, even their best people weren't their best people. I mean,
those were the Pilgrims. Yeah.
Oh, hey, other bit of news just got announced today, I think. The Boys Season 2 comes back September 4th.
Milk that cash cow, Amazon, do it!
Well, yeah, because they're not dropping the whole season at once. They're doing the...
They don't know when we're going to get new content. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's weird. Why are we dropping the first 3? Because they did that with Doom Patrol this week. They're dropping the first 3 episodes.
It's to create buzz and to make sure that you come back that next week for the 4th. Because after 3, that's usually most people's make it or break it point is episode 3. Then you're hooked. You want to watch that.
Okay.
And I think it's something that's usually the reviewer's amount. They usually give the reviewer like 3 to 4 episodes, but not the whole season. So yeah, it's that idea. Heck, we always give the reviewers 3 to 4 episodes. Let's give these schmucks 3 to 4 episodes. So it's the same stuff we already gave the reviewers, but we'll just actually drop it like 2 weeks later on the next round. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I enjoyed The Boys as a series, and
I know it's going to get reviewed. I know that.
Actually, right now we've already committed to doing the next season of Agent of Carter.
I did hear that.
So I don't know, or though maybe maybe we'll move Agent Carter to the Nuff Said feed and bring The Boys into that.
Well, no, I mean The Boys doesn't start until September.
September.
So you're almost done with season 1 of Agent Carter. Just run through season 2 Agent Carter. Once you're done with that, pick up The Boys.
Oh, there you go. That works. Okay, we'll handle it. I'll see what Maz wants to do. Well, Maz didn't always want to chase his own tail on this kind of. He likes to explore strange and new worlds. Maz, he's the mystical one.
Did you know we had a Star Trek podcast on Patreon? It's called Star Trek All Access.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do.
Please find us on Patreon.
Find us on Patreon.
Obligatory.
That's right. Episode 2 coming up soon. Yes.
Yes, and yeah. It's I thought it was good, if you don't mind getting a little Ka and your peanut butter. It's a pretty good series. It's a pretty good TV show to watch. Star Trek in general.
It's a great universe to explore.
It is actually
join
a really,
us.
honestly, for universes as they go, Star Trek is pretty boss.
And it's pretty expansive too. Especially
Well,
if you count the books and stuff. So,
well, the great thing about Star Trek is it is a really easy to replicate model because it is just a starship model, which means it's a Navy model from Roddenberry's Navy days. So it says, okay, there's a bunch of folks, they're on a ship, they're going somewhere. What happens next? But you have these templates you put these characters in, and then you can pretty much have them find anything. So Star Trek's a great subject to talk about, and that's why we talk about it on Patreon. I mean, our first episode was the first episode of Discovery.
Yes.
Watch where you put your car, kids, because that will come back to haunt you. And then this next episode is actually going to be a Voyager episode of all things.
That's right.
With Borgs and time travelers and 7 of 9.
Oh my!
Oh my! Oh my!
Wait, where's our George Takei? Oh my! You have to have that button for.
All right. Yes, I'll get that.
Thank you.
Oh my!
I'll give you my oh my. Oh my! There you go. And that's not copyright George Takei.
But hey,
that's not a trademark.
But I did mention Doom Patrol. Did anybody watch any of that yet?
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
And I'm so mad that HBO does not have a throw to TV function on its HBO Go. How do you not have a freaking throw to TV? Look, fine. You want the data to run through my phone? I hear ya. Let me throw it on my TV.
Universe. I know. I hear you're paying on HBO Max. I just watched it on DC Universe.
I don't have DC Universe.
I know.
And nobody should, because it's going to all get moved to HBO Max pretty soon.
And I don't want to pay money extra. I'm already paying for HBO. So I already pay for HBO, so I have it. And I have it just because I have an AT&T phone. So it's all like built into the price of my phone.
Yeah.
Let me just it's like it's still going through the phone. You're still getting whatever data rates, although I don't pay for my data. It's still flowing through all your stuff, AT&T. Just put it on my freaking TV. That's all I'm freaking asking. It ain't that much. So I watched the first episode.
Warner's.
Nah, Warner's.
But no, I mean, Doom Patrol's good. I mean, it's basically just, continuation of season 1. I mean, first episode, they're still small.
They're still tiny, yes. I like that they can maintain that.
Yeah,
because they were so excited. Yeah, we got out of there. It's like, oh wait, now we're all tiny, and maybe we don't get to be big again. And that's like the big question of season.
Wouldn't
1.
it be funny though if they did?
Episode
if they
1,
just
anyway.
stayed like that for a whole season.
It would have been funny. It would be funny, yes.
Oh yeah, they were living on that race car track table.
Yeah, and you have the chief's daughter.
Oh yeah,
and
Dorothy. Yeah,
and you do see that basically. So what's her name? The lady with the multiple personalities, Crazy Jane. What's her name?
I think isn't it Jane?
What?
Isn't
it's
it
Jane something, but I can't remember if it's like Crazy Jane or Knifey Jane or something. It's
which personality has their own separate name?
Well, yeah, Hammerhead. Let's just say Hammerhead because we love Hammerhead with her bald head. She's cool.
Although
I don't know if she's supposed to be a man. I'm not sure. It's very questionable if that character is meant to be a punk trans character or not.
Or just in the androgyny. That's still a thing.
Could be. Yeah, it could also be. And she could. Or they could be androgynous. That's fine.
Was it that first episode where she goes in her head and yes, he's Hammerhead and it looks like a big bald woman. Yes.
Well, a big bald person.
Yes.
That's my point. It's like it looked like a big bald punk. Punks are by their nature very androgynous. So,
which
at least many of them are. Some of them are.
I mean,
not all punks. Okay.
I mean, Hammerhead really doesn't have to be anything. It's just a multiple personality, right?
Well, exactly. Well, that's what. But it is actually not uncommon for people with multiple personality disorder to have other gendered beings in their persona. So I wonder if it's meant to be a male character or a female character, because that's not a presumption that they should all be of the same gender.
Yes.
That's sort of the thing with multiple personality disorders. But anyway, in the same way, they're not all the same age, they're not all the same personality because they're multiple personalities. But so that was. But you do see how there is this similar quality between her and the child, in the sense that they both have these complex magical inner lives that manifest as reality.
Oh yeah.
And then you see how essentially what the chief did to Crazy Jane feeds into his search for the cure for his daughter, or something for his daughter. And it's kind of crazy messed up, and
I mean,
the chief is still not a cool guy.
No.
But you can see he loves. It's like he's it's a bad kind of love. It is love that is at the same time arguably abusive.
Yeah. I mean, they must have shelled out the money for Timothy Dalton this season, because he's been in every episode so far.
I will say Doom Patrol did pretty well in its first season. It definitely exceeded expectations for what they had for it. So I can see that.
I think it's isn't that one of the big successes that come out of DC Universe so far?
Shockingly, everybody had no hopes. They were like, "We're just gonna throw this out. It's wacky. It's weird. People seem to like Legends. Let's kind of do one of those things, but on a bigger budget."
Well, was it? And two, I mean, it was that.
It's not a bigger budget.
DC Universe has a bigger budget than CW.
Okay.
For me, I noticed the cinematography differences. It's leaps and bounds better than anything.
That could just be they hired a better cinematographer. It doesn't mean they paid the cinematographer.
Well, most of the DC Universe shows seem like the cinematography is better, right?
They're all the same people, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible, but yeah, I mean, the effects budget seems about comparable, but we're also at that point, kind of historically, where effects budgets don't necessarily have to be big if you have good people doing the work. So
if they would have hired the right interns, I'm just saying. I know people that don't do it professionally that do it better than some professionals that I've seen. So.
And honestly, that is a huge labor HR issue. You cannot hire an intern to do professional work.
Sure you can't. It happens all the time, but sure you can't, Charlie.
You may not. We will say you may not.
How do you think it will?
It's bad, and you should feel bad.
But
internships in general, everything should be an externship. You shouldn't be asking anybody for free money when they're in school. Period.
Well,
but whatever.
I mean, yeah. Well, honestly,
it's very elitist. Internships are very elitist, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it was better when they called them apprenticeships, and you gave them food, and a place to stay, and that was the deal.
Mastery of something, not expecting them to just do all your crap work. Mastery of something. Yeah.
Well, you teach them the way. And you have them do the prep work too. Trust me, many a young Smithy apprentice did most of his work stoking the fires. So but you learn that because that's an important part of it.
Oh my God!
Eating coffee is not a skill. That's all that I'm gonna say.
Oh, maybe you just weren't good at it. Maybe
I never had to get coffee. I never did an internship. All mine were externships, so I was lucky that way.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But I mean, Lilith, you gotta catch up. I mean, and both you watch episode 2 with Dr. Time. Oh my God, Tyme.
Okay, you got me.
Dr. Time.
Oh, I thought it was Thyme.
No, it's Tyme. Yeah, because they even have a conversation about that. They're like, yeah, he spells it like that. Yeah, Tyme.
I thought it was like time, like the spice.
No.
But time with a Y isn't anything. So what would
his name? It's his name.
It's fun.
It's Jonathan Time. It's Dr. Jonathan Time.
But it's not a word.
It's like Drake, bro. It's like just.
Drake's a word.
It's like a guy named Otto.
Just ask what's his name? Tim Drake. Just ask Tim Drake. It's a word.
It's like a guy named Otto Octavius becoming a living octopus. Thank you.
Except no part of Otto Octavius says that he's an octopus.
Octavius?
Yes, Octavius was was the
Okay,
nephew
so Stan Lee was
of
having a good day. Okay.
Caesar, and
And worst of all, Otto Octavius.
and he was born in the 8th month of the year. So
So
That's why
many
he's-
coincidences. So many coincidences.
yes.
Lilith, that's what we need for next year, October.
You got it, buddy. Done.
Okay.
Only the most ridiculous. That's the new thing. It has to be the most ridiculous stories. If we're going to dedicate a whole month to it.
That's right.
The marriage of Otto and Aunt May.
But this year,
Yes, you know that's going to be in there. That's my jam.
this year we're having Shocktober.
Oh God.
Shocktober?
Shocker, because Lilith demanded it.
Oh, shocked. Okay.
Shocker.
Because I'm going to be doing so much horror in October. I'm going to need a good laugh. So it's just one of those things. 31 days
Shocker's
of
awesome.
absolute terrifying horror movies. So I need something to take my mind off it.
Oh, Matt Kona, you gotta better be doing that again.
Anyways,
But yeah, Doom Patrol's good. Yeah, Lilith, your favorite Matt Bomer, is still killing it.
Well, I had no doubt in my mind. I'm just sad that they refused to make him Superman. That's all. That's all. And I'll leave it alone.
I am like a little disturbed by because they do a flashback,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if maybe Brendan Fraser is getting back into shape for some reason, because that was clearly a fat suit he was wearing in the flashback in episode
was
1.
it? I was gonna say he looked heavy, but that's a fact.
No, that was definitely a
This
fat
is
suit.
the thing about celebrities. They don't like to be called fat. So, the show took off. I better get into a little bit better shape there. Plus, his ex-wife had him in a depressive state, that whole thing too. So he could be feeling better and coming out of it. So
Yeah.
good for him.
No, but I mean, it was definitely. I mean, he played it well. Because at first I was like, "Wait, that supposed to be?" Because it looked weird because the timeline didn't seem to add up.
Mhm.
Because is that supposed to be his father? Because it was actually dated in 1968, and he was a racer in the 80s. I thought.
No, the only flashback I remember, he was talking to his dad in the 80s. It was like 84 or something. Yeah.
No, I thought that said it was 68.
No, the only one in the 60s was Negative Man. Yeah, no.
I thought they gave. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe it was, but in that case, if that was supposed to be him, yeah, that was definitely a fat
drinking
suit.
the apple juice while watching this, and which one was not?
Well, actually, since I tended to watch it in the mornings, actually, probably not. So,
Ooh, snap!
yeah, I'm trying to be healthy, Phil.
That liver, man, that liver. Oh, Lilith, I'm sure you didn't yet because it just came out today. I think. Did you watch the finale of Harley Quinn?
Nope, but I am all caught up to that point, and I begrudgingly like this show, and I hate myself for it.
Why? It's good.
It's so it's corny fun, but like adult corny fun.
Yeah. Like this show.
And it's Harley.
on
You know
HBO
how I feel
Max?
about Harley, but they managed to make it work with this show. I'm still kind of upset about the whole Poison Ivy thing. I think we should be doing more with that. But
Well, you haven't watched the finale yet.
okay, good. I don't like queer baiting. Like I don't appreciate it. So hopefully they pay off on that.
You haven't watched the finale yet. But,
Okay.
But I don't want to spoil too much. But the way they ended this episode is the season finale. It could either. I mean,
It's not going to be the series finale. Just hang that up.
Okay. So there's another
We're getting
season
another
coming?
season. Don't be crazy.
Are you sure? Okay, good. No, good. I want another season, but I was just like this. The way they ended it, it could have went either way. It wasn't like a clip.
Well, they also, because it's animated, they have to probably write that way because they make them way before.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's not like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, Kaylee Cuoco for our Harley Quinn.
From what I've seen, she's doing a good job at it. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's the one good thing Warner's has done lately. It's the one thing I'll give them.
Well, I think they do better in certain genres and certain styles than they do in others, And I think when they understand that they're making comic films with comic characters, I think they do much better for themselves.
A comic caper, if you will.
Hey, when are we doing the next 3 issues, by the way?
You mean the next 4?
Whatever, of Captain America, yeah.
If you want to join us, it's Thursday night.
Okay, yeah. Some of us didn't get invited, so
Oh,
You're always welcome.
Well, I just finalized with Lilith Hellfire because
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if I don't get invited, I don't know. Did I miss the one on last Thursday? I don't know. I don't know. Who am I?
No, the
I'm
one
chopped liver.
the one
So
you were
I
on,
worry.
the one you were on goes up Thursday. Yes, and then on
In
all
July.
yes, every Thursday in July.
Not July yet.
Hey, I have to plan around the social
I know.
life of Lilith Hellfire. Okay.
I know Phil actually has a whole life that he does. Phil runs the whole show, so I just
Poor
show him.
Danielle.
Oh, is this our weekly Kiss Phil's butt segment? Yes.
The mustache makes it tickly.
He's our Gelman. What can I say? Is that show even still on anymore? I don't even know.
Yes, Kelly, and now Ryan Seacrest, right, hon?
Seacrest in.
Oh, what happened to Michael? Okay, never mind.
He
Mike, he moved to the Today Show, man. He moved up. He's like, I'm doing actual news now.
I honestly haven't seen it in so long.
Seacrest just added this.
Good Morning America. Good Morning
Seacrest
America.
just added the Kelly Ripa show to one of his 50 jobs.
Well, he's got to stay busy.
Man likes to work.
Yeah, man.
He does. So, comic books?
Yes, let's
Sure.
get some comic books.
Justice League Dark, anyone?
I didn't read it. Did you?
Poor Charlie, single-handedly keeping that book afloat.
No. Well, I mean, here's gonna tell you. I'm still not giving up on my theory that Solomon
Unite
Grundy.
the Parliaments under Grundy. We're here with you.
It's like, and you know whose fault it was?
Make Grundy great again.
You know who screwed. So I'm gonna say someone screwed up something mystical and screwed over everybody in the DC universe. Who do you think that
John
was?
Constantine, could it?
Yes, it was.
Well, what do you want from a petty dabbler? What do you want from him?
By the way, can I just say this?
A master's or a PhD, okay? Doesn't even have a BS.
This is both my favorite and least favorite social distancing poster I've ever seen.
Superman and Wonder Woman with the lasso, yeah.
Yes. I love it because it is kind of cool and iconic, but at the same time, gives you no real definition of what 6 feet is. I don't even think that is actually to scale 6 feet, given how tall each of them are.
Or from what I hear in Australia, it's 1.5 meters, 1.5 to stay alive.
To stay alive.
I was hearing 2
For our
meters.
international viewers.
No,
just don't get close to nobody.
our source in Australia said it's 1.5 to stay alive.
Yes. Well, in England, it's 2 meters, but they have it worse in England, so.
Well, it's so small, know.
Anyway, so yeah. So it's a fun story though, and they get the elemental forces, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, to bring the parliaments together.
Captain Planet. Oh no.
Yes,
okay, no.
but they reconvene the Parliament of Life, and all the things, the little microbes and the animals and the plants, the red and the green and the blue and the yellow and the orange for some reason.
Emotional
They're all
spectrum?
something.
What?
I don't know. There's only so many colors in comic books, Lilith. I don't know what to tell you. But then basically they make Woodrow agree to it, and then basically Abby Arcane, who is the avatar of the rot, just betrays them all and says, "No, I rotted."
Who would have ever thought somebody that was the avatar of the rot would betray you? How could she do such a thing?
The rot is an important part of life, though, Lilith. That's the point.
But
it was held by Abigail Arcane, who is, she's Fletty and doesn't wear her name. I'll say it. Abigail Arcane can't, because she's all hung up on this Swordsman remake called The Swamp Thing. By the way, yeah, totally. I realized that today. Oh, so that's where Alan Moore stole that idea from.
Oh, take a drink.
Dang, it's been a minute on the Alan Moore, but there we go.
Man has not had an original idea in his life. I'm just saying. He does good stories. I'm just saying that. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. You took someone else's idea and wrote it better. which is a great skill. He's a very skillful writer.
All right,
but
so
all of his ideas are someone else's.
would the universe just implode if we had like a round table with like Alan Moore, Bendis, who else?
Well, see, they're all successful in their industries.
I
I don't think my criticisms would have weight against them.
3 on
Like,
3.
oh, what mansion do you live in, good sir? It's like, well, I don't. Says, yes, well, all of my plagiarism has bought me this big mansion. So why don't you suckle upon my legumes?
Bendis is smacking me in the face with his Bendis.
Yeah. I'm just saying, these guys have all established themselves as great professional artists and writers and creators. So the fact that I throw my petty witticisms at them
Dabbling.
honestly should not faze them in the slightest. And yeah, and you know, if I ever met Alan Moore, I would say to him, you are a really good writer. You take great stories and you make them amazing to read.
I know. That's what I know.
Exactly. Well, it's like I have nothing to say. It's like, you know, I'll say, you know, what I would tell him is I like how you take other people's ideas and you merge them into great and amazing stories. He would say, thank you. I pride myself on that. And then I would say, was that in the text of the deal that you made with Satan, or was that his evil twist at the end? And here's what I'll say: Alan Moore, being the lovable magician that he is, might say, I can't tell you that I signed an NDA. And we would have great fun and imbibe whatever it is he imbibes.
Hey, Satan insists
which
on
I'm sure is something.
Satan insists on those NDAs. Just ask Trump.
Anyway, yes. But no, I really enjoyed Justice League Dark. But here's what I'm going to say. It's not over. It's not over. They brought back Swamp Thing to restore order to the parliaments because now the trees are back in charge. Like the trees should be in charge. Did you listen to the freaking Rush song? The oaks and the maples can't even agree. You know, you guys know the Rush song about, you know, the oaks and the maples and the pines? It's the trees, they fight a lot because, you know, the oaks can't help it that they eat all the sun. And it ends poorly. But anyway, yeah, so no, I don't think this is going to last. And I know it's not going to last because you know who's still out there?
Who?
My friend and yours. He's your friend when no one cares. He's your friend. Second friend, Upside Down Man. Looking for a good shot of him. Oh, that's right. That's the good shot. Him and Abby. Him and poor Abby, filled with the rot and totally betrayed all of the parliaments, is a pawn of the Upside Down Man. Which is how I know Grundy's coming. Unite the parliaments under Emperor Grundy.
What is your number?
They should just hire you to write a Grundy book. They should just do that.
23.
23.
I want to see what they're going to do with. I want to see what they do with Grundy in Stargirl, because they got him locked up, and it's like
that can't last forever. We all know that.
First off, we locked Grundy in a cage, so he'll still be on our side when we let him out, right? That's a bad
on a Monday, but not a Monday night.
That's a bad gambler. You're not seeing all the angles here, gambler. If you think Grundy's going to be your pal, he's not your psychic friend, Fredbear. He's Solomon freaking Grundy.
He really don't want to be your friend, right, Charlie Esser?
I'm just going to say, I don't think the gambler will like him when he's angry.
Oh.
Because
Grundy squish.
Come on, get Lou's dad in there.
Yeah.
Junior, our man, get his dad in here. Let him voice Grundy, please.
Nice.
Yes.
Charlie, I don't think you got this. Lilith, did you read the Green Lantern 80th issue?
I did. I'm really sad they didn't go all out as I thought they would. It's okay, but it's not as good as the other ones have been. I'll just say that.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, they kind of gave a
I didn't see no hardcover books. No,
I
hey,
know.
let's go through all the great. You know what I mean? Like,
But again, is that because it's Age of Corona too? And they have
did
been.
it for Joker. I'm just saying.
Oh, did they? Because I was going to say,
Well, kind of, sort of. They did more for Joker than they did for this. I'll put it to you that way.
And it can it be just because? I mean, this is like what, the fourth one of these.
They also don't have a
books
movie or a TV show. They haven't won an Oscar.
And also,
I get it, but
this is the fourth one of these books they've dropped this year, and each one's been $10. So that could be it.
Oh, that could be it too. But that don't mean nothing to DC. They love to beat up their nerds for their lunch money. That's their jam. They took Stan Lee's baton for that and ran with it. Okay, they've been running with it ever since.
I will be honest, I was totally tempted to pick that up. So,
I mean,
it piqued my interest because I do love the lanterns and their mythos. So
their mythos is excellent.
Because all the.
But I'm worried there was going to be kind of nothing that impressive. The Joker book I felt was very impressive.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of more love and care could have been given to these characters, but like I said, they're a property that's in limbo right now.
Yeah.
And they've had some other things this year, so I get it, but I'm just a little disappointed. But I thought it was good. Not great, but good.
Well, Lilith, what do you think about I guess they're keeping that part of Alan Scott's origin from New 52 where he's a gay man?
Well, diversity sells, and I'm glad that somebody can see themselves in a lantern. Because Hal, Kyle, and even John at some points are not very relatable outside of John being a black guy. Like, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I just I want them to reintroduce his kids.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because,
well, that's
people can't have kids.
Well, they can, and not for nothing, he didn't have to be gay the whole time.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, honestly, I actually think
but it was
story of closeted gay people is actually an underexplored concept in fiction. I think that it's sort of like, they're either always closeted or they're always out, and that idea of that growth. That's
not even how the world works.
Well,
exactly. That idea of that growth and transition. I think that's an important part of that story that I would love people to tell.
Well, yeah. I guess you could say that because it was the 40s. You could say, he married a woman, meanwhile he was in the closet or whatever.
To do,
yeah, and not for nothing. Well, you say, it's very easy to say, that was what was expected, but also it's like it was the situation that if you're in the 40s and you want to have a kid, you kind of have to have a woman. There wasn't another option.
Yeah.
And if you could get through it and you could actually build a friendship, you actually could have a really great relationship as a gay man with a woman who, does other things as you need to, or even if it's only in a fantasy world or whatever it is, however you structure your life. Here's this crazy thought. Not everybody is a 1-to-1 ratio. Everybody has a very complex panoply of their lives and often spend their life looking for someone that says, hey, can you understand this, and this crazy thing about me? And then the other person says, yes, I can. And they go, jackpot, and that's when you get married.
I mean, and you could really play with that because wasn't their mother like a supervillain too, Lilith? I mean, you could really play with that story.
Yeah, I just hope they do it better. I felt like it smacked of desperation in New 52. Like, they were like, oh, yeah, wait, we need a gay character. Who does nobody really actually care about? That's what it felt like to me, and I hope they just do that better.
Well, in the New 52, though, too, they were it was a New Earth 2, and it was like kind of like present day, so they're kind of trying to revamp, because Jay Garrick was like still a college kid in that,
Yeah. But I was just saying, it just felt rushed and snatched out of nowhere. Well, so I just want more care for that.
In New 52, they revamped the whole Justice Society. They were like, it was Earth 2, and they were all young again. But
was Jay Garrick prior to that ever a college kid?
Well, when in 1940, was it in his first appearance? Yeah, was he in college?
I thought he was like an established chemist at that.
Yeah, he was already an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't he at the university? Was he? No, because was he playing football? Remember we did that. His first
he was playing
college football.
Well, was that a
weird.
flashback or was that in the thing?
No, because he was like, "Oh man, I just ran past them so fast. How did that happen? Oh, must be in that hard water fumes."
Yeah.
Hard water fumes.
Yeah.
Well, that was what, the 50s, so
40s,
maybe
1940.
yeah. Well, so he might have 1940. Well, maybe he was a World War I guy.
Mm.
So as people forget, we actually had some big spots where a lot of people like sort of put off their teenage years and then like, oh, I'm going to college as a 32-year-old.
He had the helmet.
So yeah, once you go to that war and you like spend like 4 or 5 years at war, suddenly you're a lot older when you're a senior in college. So.
Oh, speaking of, we're probably getting a Flash 80th too this year, right, Lil?
I would assume so. I mean, unless they want to wait. I mean, they put it out, but they should wait, honestly.
Because it's 80 years because of Alan Scott. So it'd be 80 years for Flash because of Jay Garrick.
I feel like they need to definitely do something major for the Flash, though. I'm like Batman, Superman levels for the Flash. Like I'm tired of the disrespect. Put some respect on the Flash for the love of goodness.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do anything for his 750th issue. You know what I mean? Not really.
They renumbered it. They went back to the original number.
Yeah. Rude.
But no, I enjoyed this Green Lantern issue. Charlie, there's a Sinestro story in here.
Well, I mean that would have been a very attractive idea to me. I mean, I love me some Sinestro.
And
hey,
Lilith. I mean, I know you enjoyed that Jeff Johns story where it ends with the League laughing at Hal Jordan. Come on.
I know, but it felt too self-aware, too meta for me to really enjoy it. It's like, we get it. He's a clown. We get it.
I know, but they only had a couple pages for each story too. But and I think I saw somewhere we had a Green Lantern story. Was this officially Denny O'Neil's last story?
Weren't we arguing about that? I think that might be.
Well, I know he did one for the Joker. And we're like, is this the last one? But this might be the last one.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously last published then.
Yeah.
Unless there's one that they're holding that they will publish like 10 years from now and saying Denny O'Neil's last story.
You know what? They just might do that because of the pandemic. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
they might be holding back a few things.
Or no, like they watch them put out like a Denny O'Neil like commemorative issue or something with all like Denny O'Neil stories or something.
And they might put out a hard book once this is over. Honestly, that would like a coffee book table or like you know what I mean. That would make more sense for me.
And then if they have any new stories left, throw that in there.
Yep.
So yeah, you got your Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Lil.
I know. I'm excited. That was exciting, but I was just like, I just need more. Like, I just feel so bad for the Green Lanterns. They're literally the redheaded stepchild of the universe right now, and it's not fair. Harley Quinn should be the redheaded stepchild of this universe.
Oh,
fight me! I don't care. I have problems with Harley, the comic book. I really do.
That movie damaged that property. So
now we have Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey actual comic book, which is trash, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I'm not branding it.
I feel so bad. Like, the writers have good intentions, but that brand is damaged irreparably. And like, they have to I feel like there's certain mandates in that book that they have to follow now. And I don't like it.
What, DCEU?
It's very much a formula.
DCEU mandates?
Something.
Wow.
I don't like it.
Lilith, what coverage you get?
That one.
Oh, the Kyle Rayner?
Yeah, that's all they had.
Ha!
They got me. It's all they had. It's not like it was sold out or anything. That's just one of the only variants that they bothered to get, so it's fine. I understand. He's going through it with DC. I understand. I get it.
Do we not
bought it and moved on?
Do we not like Kyle Rayner for some reason?
No,
I don't. I barely like Hal Jordan.
She doesn't. Kyle Rayner's like, oh, hey, Lilith. I was talking about this. I guess Will over on Quantum Zone is a big Green Lantern fan. His favorite, Hal Jordan.
Typical. No offense. Typical.
I'll put it in my navel.
You know what though? Kyle is a White Lantern I was here for, and I've been on record and say it as much. I liked him like that.
Oh yeah, they made him unique. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he under the pressures of like being a Green Lantern, he does not thrive. That's all that I'll say.
Kyle Rayner was the torchbearer. He was the only Green Lantern after Hal Jordan destroyed the Green Lantern Corps.
Well, his whole purpose was that he was an artist, and some artist at DC thought, oh man, this guy, Hal Jordan never creates anything really interesting.
He destroys everything. Yeah.
Hal Jordan has no imagination.
Well, literally, that was the idea. Is Hal Jordan's bad at his job, which I guess is not a shocking revelation.
Well, I mean, like what was it, like a week or two ago? Like Kevin Smith put up that interview he did with Denny O'Neil a couple years ago, and like I think Denny O'Neil was talking about that. He said like Hal Jordan's, that book was selling crap. That's why they did the whole Kyle Rayner thing.
Yeah. But then you could have the artist make more interesting constructs, and that was the idea. So,
let's outside of the box, if you will. Yep.
Yeah, and then I think even what's his name? Jon Stewart was supposed to be some kind of an engineer, wasn't he? Wasn't he an Army Corps of engineers?
Architect? Yeah, because Jeff Johns even calls that out, and when he brings Hal Jordan back, like they're all going into battle. It's like, yeah, Cal's the imaginative one, Jon Stewart's the architect. You could see like every moving part in his, constructs, and
he's like, big plane, go fast.
You, Hal.
So is Jon Stewart still an engineer or an architect, Lil? Because it seems like now
didn't they retcon that? I feel like they retconned
it. Might be New 52 because it seems like now he was just like an ex-Marine or something.
Yeah, they went the Army route for him. That's as far as and they stuck with that.
Well, why would they do that?
Which they need to make him an architect again. Honestly, it's like, a black guy in the military. How original.
As Steve Rogers showed us, you can be both a soldier and an artist.
Exactly.
Oh man, if Steve Rogers had a Green Lantern ring, Darkseid wouldn't have a chance.
Willpower, baby. I think I was thinking about that the other day. Yeah.
That would be like the most amazing Green Lantern if you did a Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the blue one? Isn't that Compassion?
Is it Hope, maybe?
Hope, yeah, I think blue is Hope. That would be his, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does
have willpower though too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
not to stay away from them ladies, though. Am I
right? Well, hey, he's gonna say they came onto him.
Lady in a yellow dress, his demise.
Hey, man, I was just cruising through the time stream, man. It's Peggy Carter coming to me.
I saw something I liked.
I'm just saying, Steve, he likes the ladies, but I feel he's very respectful the whole time.
Of course. Nobody can say Steve Rogers is a disrespectful man.
It's like, if you ever read, I forget if it's Casanova or Don Juan, but it's like, I truly love every woman I'm ever with, It's like they are my being and my all. But, at the end of the day, they don't want to be with me. I don't want to be with them because it's a very complex life I lead. And so,
baby.
We part ways.
Was a Rolling Stone in that case.
Yeah, Steve Rogers is in fact a Rolling Stone. I think that best describes the situation. So.
Oh, hey, Lilith. Did you read Batman 93?
No, not yet. I don't know. The people that I read reviews for, they didn't really like it, and they're kind of in tune with me.
It's kind of the kickoff of the Joker War, and they reveal
I kind of don't want anything to do with too. So
and they kind of revealed what the whole designer's whole plan was.
Okay, I'll read that after I catch up on Harley Quinn in the morning.
Okay.
So wait, so the Joker is the Joker War related to the three Jokers?
They wish.
Did you already do a Joker?
Jokers.
Pandemic.
I mean, who knows, Charlie? That's why I'm saying. That's why I don't think they were saying three Jokers isn't in continuity, because if it contradicts Joker War, then they're gonna be like, it's just not continuity. Well, that's the thing.
How do you commit to it and not follow through?
Well, it could be an Elsewhere tale. That's the whole thing.
It's been in the works
the way that I understand it. It kind of.
I think they have too many things that are in the works for way too long.
Exactly. I mean, they've been teasing it.
It was 2 continuities ago when this was like.
Yeah, they've been teasing it since 2016. That's the problem.
Have they actually rebooted the continuity since they said it?
I mean, it was at the end of New 52.
It was a soft. Yeah, it was a soft.
So we went to Rebirth. I mean, there's literally been 93 issues of Batman since then, at least.
And now we got a Wally West Dr. Manhattan. So who knows what's real anymore?
Somebody get Franklin Richards on the phone, please.
Well, I don't know if Wally still has all that power. See Dark Knight's.
Yeah, I was gonna say they wouldn't let Wally have all that power for that long, because Wally is literally the other redheaded stepchild of the DC universe.
I mean, I
you got some man pain you want to put somebody through? Give it to Wally. It's fine.
Just put him back with that wife and kids. Come on.
I just don't understand. Okay.
Nobody does, Charlie. It's okay.
Here's what I'll say: if we want to find a way through this, just just make a decision and go with it. I think that is the thing that I think DC struggles with. They have a hard time following an idea. They have an idea, and they think it's good, and then they put a lot of money behind that idea. And then the second that idea doesn't work out exactly the way they wanted, they immediately run away and look for a new idea.
Well, I mean, I think too, it's just like, oh, hey, that Joker movie was successful. Like, hey, everyone throw us your Joker ideas. I mean,
well, Joker's the only thing that can be guaranteed bankable successful. Look, Heath Ledger got an Oscar. Everybody loves that Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. I'm just saying, it's a proven brand.
I mean, I just wonder too, because like on Into the Night and Moon Knight podcast episode 150, Ray let me join in. Thank you.
I was gonna say somebody from here was on it.
Yeah. Well, no, we talked to Tom Brevoort, and I even asked him. I said, when there's a movie, do you guys like mandate? Oh, hey, we have to have a book about set. Like, hey, Moon Knight, it's a series. Do you have to do the comic? And he's like, no. He's like, but
it's encouraged.
Yeah, and he said, and then a lot of the writers come to him with like, oh, hey, I have an idea for a new Moon Knight book because the series is coming out. So so wonderful that DC writers are just coming in and saying, hey, I got an idea for a new Joker book, and Warner's is just like, sold, do it, even though there's 50 of them, do it.
But also you have to remember this was in the works before the whole merger, so they probably read it and said, what the hell was he thinking? But then it's ready to go. This is the thing about 3 Jokers. It's been ready to go for a minute.
Well,
and I just don't get before the pandemic.
What did COVID slow that down? Well, did COVID slow that down though too?
But excuse is better than none. Any excuse is better than none. People will go risk their health for the Joker. Have you seen Joker fans? I'm just saying.
You know what it is? I just realized the problem. It's fridge logic. So the whole thing is, it's a great idea in the moment when you pitch it, but then if it gets to be too long before you implement it, there's too much fridge logic that happens, which is, oh, I go to the beer and I get a fridge. Wait, and then you say, oh, wait, how did that happen? Wait, why does that make sense? I don't think this makes sense. And you start to pick apart the story. And I think that's probably what happened. And like, it was so long before they got to it.
They had the idea 4 years ago, and then there's been 4 years of stories since then. So
it's
so
printed.
basically,
we know this. It was ready to go for June. Hello.
This is why don't pitch it until you have a script.
Don't tell the public until it's right. Almost.
Well, that kind of
but don't go off an elevator pitch. That's the thing. If you're publicizing on an elevator pitch for a character like the Joker, that's a bad business decision.
It is.
That's the thing.
Saying for a while.
That's the thing. It just seems like a bad business decision. You can't just say, "Oh, hey, let's do 3 Jokers." So, that sounds cool.
Nobody
I like
even
that
cares
idea.
about 3 Jokers anymore at this point. So it's just
I would like to know what the heck that was about. They had the Mobius chair say it.
Tyler Patrick would like to have a word with you.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like you have the Mobius chair say it.
Look, listen.
It's the freaking Mobius.
I'm gonna put it to you this way.
It was the new 52.
And I hope I don't get in trouble, but all the ideas that I've heard that people had their theories is better than the actual story.
Well, that's
I'll just put it out
true,
there.
Though.
Wait.
At least issue 1, yeah. That's why I'm like, why is it not out? A lot of people know. Why is it not out? Why is there? Well, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it's going to actually happen now.
Any tidbits you'd like to drop on the audience?
No, I'm sure she's in.
No, I can't. But all I'm saying is that everybody's theories are way better.
Ask.
Okay.
That's rude. That's rude, Philip.
I gave it a choice. No,
I know.
I know, but you can't.
It breaks my heart too. Like I love Joker as a character, but they've much like Harley, they've ruined him. They don't get it. They don't get the point of Joker.
Let's have a conversation off the air.
Okay.
Let me just say, I think it's first off, the Joker is a hard character to start with. You know what I wish they would do way more with?
Who?
I wish they would So they always make this point, and every freaking pretend film major says he was inspired by Conrad Veidt's The Man Who Laughs.
Oh.
Right.
And it's like, visually, yes. But not story-wise. And if you actually watch The Man Who Laughs, you actually see who The Man Who Laughs was, which is actually based on a story by Victor Hugo. It's actually a Victor Hugo story, which I've never read. I will say that up front.
Turn it into a musical. Done. Sorry.
But I think that's what they were going for with the recent. Honestly, that's one thing I will say is like the recent Joker film is as close as you'll get to an actual thought process idea of merging that Joker character with the Man Who Laughs. But really the Joker is the jester from the Man Who Laughs. Not the Man Who Laughs, not the Joker. And so it is, to me, really hard anytime anyone wants to talk about the Joker, that I think that who the Joker is shouldn't be so much of a mystery. It's like we've established who he is, and if you really want to tell a story about the Joker and you want to refer back to his origins in that concept of the Man Who Laughs, which maybe the writer of the Joker movie did in trying to square the circle of the two ideas of this person who is not in his heart evil or bad, but who is horribly damaged. Which is what I think the Joker story was. It's like, what if someone wasn't bad in their heart, but was so horribly damaged that they couldn't function in society? And because society itself is the illness, then I think that's why Joker touched a lot of people and became a $1 billion success. And the idea that DC is saying, well, that's not canonical, that's not the stories we're telling. Meanwhile, it was a good story. And for what it's worth, Joaquin Phoenix says, yeah, I'll do a sequel. I'll be a part of the new Batman film. That's fine. I got no problem with that.
He wants work. He doesn't know. Like, and I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, but his roles are, from role to role, they're very sporadic and far between.
I know, and for what it's worth, he had a good role. It was a good. It's honestly why you might actually get Michael Keaton back to be Batman if you had a good director. Because the whole reason he left was because they fired Tim Burton.
Yes, we all know that story.
And he was like, dude, I want to be with someone who's going to handle the character well. And the fact of the matter, and that I think is the problem DC always has, is they don't know how to get the right director with the right actors and the right script.
They give the wrong director too much power over. Yep, I agree.
That's what happens. Is they don't know. They need a good producer. A producer is an artist whose medium is other artists. Who says, this is, there's a great documentary, and I don't know how good it really is as far as his work, but it's great to understand the mind of a producer, which is The Kid Stays in the Picture.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm forgetting the actual producer first of it's a great documentary just to listen to, because the guy's such a great bon vivant and storyteller, and it's all just him, with a glass of bourbon. You imagine a martini or a glass of bourbon in his hand, just telling you all his stories of Hollywood. But he's not like a big guy.
It's Robert Evans.
Here's my story. Yeah, Robert Evans. Thank you. But it's sort of like him just sitting on the couch telling you, and here's the thing, and this is what we did, and this was the next thing. And maybe he didn't even have a drink in his hand. Maybe it was just pure mineral water, because the guy really sells his story. But it is just about how you find a great actor, you find a great director, you find a great writer, you put these people together, and they make art, and they make great films. And I think DC is, as we've said, DC needs a Feige. DC needs a great producer.
Just call Greg, for the love of God. I'm against it, but it's the best we got. Just call him.
He does good work.
Give him more money. I don't care. Just do it.
What the
heck?
I mean, they don't want to.
He is an excellent producer. I will give you that. He runs so many different shows across so many different networks. He's a good producer. He's proven. Just do it. End of discussion. Do it.
And that may be what they need to do. They need to get a guy, because that's the thing. You don't even have to have a good idea to be a good producer.
And I'm so bummed that some of his shows got canceled. I was just like, but The Flash is still on. I'm kidding. I love The Flash. Don't at me. Don't at me.
At Will Hellfire.
And I think that's the problem is they brought in, so as an example, you can, like, Joss Whedon is a guy who can produce a lot of good shows. Anyone who's still begging me for freaking the next season of Firefly, they're out there.
It's just a meme at this point. No one wants Firefly back, really. Fight me, brown coats. You know you don't mean it. We got Serenity. Stop begging.
Hey, does anybody? Hey, Lilith, do you want spoilers on this?
Sure. Is that your pick of the week? Or was there something better? Choose carefully.
I'd say it's either this or the Green Lantern 80th.
How dare you disrespect Jimmy Olsen number 11? But fine.
I didn't read it.
Spoilers.
It might be good. No, the whole designer's plan. Remember, he was going to unite the villains in the early days, but then the Joker, something the Joker set him off. All right.
Yeah.
So the designer's whole plan was they were going to take over the city. First step, they were going to bring in the 5 top assassins, which were basically Deathstroke, Deathshot, KG Beast, Merlin, and Shiva. They were going to kill the mayor and all the top government officials in the city. And then the Penguin was going to install his own puppet regime. So Penguin's basically in charge of the city. Then Riddler would hijack the city, kill Gordon, and basically any cop who wasn't working for the Riddler got killed off. So then the Riddler would have the cops. Then Catwoman was supposed to hack in and steal all of Bruce Wayne's money.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Hacker. And then
she'll just marry him. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Well,
do they really think Bruce Wayne keeps his money as liquid assets?
Well, hack.
That's not a magic word. That's not saying abracadabra.
Well, no.
I just really think I'm in. It takes more than 10 seconds. I don't care how good you are.
It was talks of computers and transferring funds, Charlie. Yeah, it wasn't hard cat. It wasn't liquid assets.
No, well, if you're saying transfer funds, that means it's liquid. It's a liquidated asset. And okay. Anyway, so this guy was called the designer. He was supposed to be good at his job.
Yeah. And then
anyway.
The Joker's whole part in his plan was the easiest. He was just supposed to kill Batman and Robin, and that's where the plan went off the rails because Joker.
Well, he managed one of the two.
Exactly.
So.
One of them.
Well, yes. Well, Joker.
There's been like 6. There's like 4 more Robins.
And Joker. And that was the big part of the plan. Joker didn't want to kill Batman because we know why.
Of course not. That's his lover.
Exactly. And I mean, this was back in Dick Grayson's day, so yeah, he didn't even kill that Robin either. So
literally the redheaded stepchild. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody hates a redhead. It's fine.
But then fighty. I mean, Batman unmasked the designer. Guess who's under the mask, Will?
Who is
Ned
it?
Leeds.
No.
wait a minute. Wrong universe, buddy.
Nice. But no,
it was Gink the whole time.
It's still the original designer who they still haven't said who he was, but it's his desiccated corpse, which I guess the Joker's controlling.
What in the Batman Beyond is going on over here?
I know, it's so weird. But and then at the end, yeah. Well, Catwoman, she knew the whole plot, so she, now she's like she was trying to transfer Bruce's funds so she can protect them. But guess what? Punchline show. We get our big punchline in round 1 of our big Harley and punchline fight, which I thought, oh, Charlie's going to get his wish. Well, not this round, my friend. Not this round.
Guys, punchline is here for at least a year, so get used to that, okay?
So punchline takes control of that transfer. So guess what? Now the Joker.
Is he broke? Is he like Oliver Queen broke?
That's not how money works.
We know.
Well, now
Charlie, we know.
Well, now the Joker has all his money.
No, he doesn't, because that would mean the Joker needs a social security number, which means that he needs an identity, in which case he can be arrested, in which case he can go to jail for identity theft. This isn't hard.
Writers
Okay.
don't know how that stuff works. They're creative.
So let me just stop for 5 seconds. No, I need to make a point. I need to make a point. Remember when in what was it, Luke Cage, the last Luke Cage season, they like transfer all the money out of the boss lady's finances, so that suddenly the guy from Jamaica has the money. And he gets the lawyer for like one episode, and then like one episode later, the lawyer's completely right back with the power brokers because, oh, your money's fake. I said you say she doesn't have the money today, but then I actually talked to my accountant. It's like, what are you talking about? You can't just do that. That's not how money works. And then he's like, oh, so I'm back with her now. And so that's the thing. It's like Bruce Wayne is like broke for a day. And then suddenly
he's got money in the vault. Come on, let's be serious.
Well, for real, he's got a money bin, I'm sure. But
again, too, this is like the beginning of the whole thing, too. I mean, one, of course, Joker's the magic villain these days, but two, it's just like, by the end of the story, is Batman going to be like, oh yeah, you fell into my trap. I wanted you to.
I would be so down for them taking him back to his like gangster roots and being a little bit smart and just not like all willy nilly. Like I would be down for that.
Well, I'm just wondering. I think they're going to reboot the Joker somehow because I swear there was some ad or some article for Joker where they're like, "Oh, it's the last Batman Joker fight." It's like, yeah, okay. And again, he knows everyone's identity, so he's probably going to get the amnesia. He's going to get that Osborn amnesia. So they're going to reboot him somehow, probably.
Well, maybe it'll be one of the other 3 Jokers that comes back. Who knows?
Oh.
Ooh, maybe. No.
Give me Jerome.
I don't know. You
Jeremiah.
You tell us.
Well, out of like how many ever issues? It's not just a one shot. So
is it 3? I think
let's just get Jack Napier back.
He was the best Joker. 3 Jokers is 3 issues.
My dogs didn't like that corny joke. Sorry.
Jack Napier is the best Joker.
Oh. Are they going to? Is DCU going to go after?
And hey, apparently that's all they want. It's like, hey, remember the '80s, kids? You liked the '80s, right?
You think
23's could do?
You think they're planning that if they get Keaton, they're like, oh, we need to get Nicholson back for another Keaton Nicholson fight.
Okay, Nicholson cannot be the Joker now. It was a stretch in '89. And I'm thinking if you like went to Nicholson and said you want to be the Joker, it's like. Yeah, it's like if you ask Joker, if you ask Nicholson to be the Joker now, it's like, well, you mean CGI, right? It's like I don't actually.
Are we doing the Will Smith Gemini trick? Is that what we're doing?
Oh,
well, it's like
I mean, there's enough footage of Jack Nicholson out there, man.
I'm sure.
Some shining footage.
How much of him punching people is there?
We can fix that in post. Don't you worry, Charlie.
Here's Joker.
Here's Joker, yeah.
All of a sudden, he has an axe for no reason. And they put like a crowbar instead of the
CGI into a crowbar. They CGI a crowbar and here's Jack Napier.
We're a mess. I did want to shout out the best Marvel book this week was the latest Spider-Ham book.
Oh,
yes, it was, Lilith.
You should be reading that book. I know you might think it's a joke, it's a gag, but it's actually like, I really like it. It actually has a really good story. It's not just like a gag. I appreciate that.
I'm going to read it. I have not read it yet. I only had time for one, so I read that Avengers one, Charlie. But yeah, I'm going to read it. So it's good, huh?
Oh.
Yes, I'm really in love with this.
Well, the one spoiler I got, Charlie Esther said there's a BoJack joke in there.
You wouldn't get it, but it's fine.
Charlie, I can't hear you.
Oh
no.
Sorry. I'm talking to the kids. I'm yelling at the kids to do things. And so I was on mute.
Children.
You probably didn't hear any of my... I guess I've been silent the entire time I've been yelling at you people. Putting in random comments, and you guys didn't even hear, so...
Well, yeah, because...
Don't mind me. I don't pay attention if I'm not talking.
I'm not a details guy, man. I'm a big picture guy. So yeah,
Phil, I think you really enjoy it. I think a lot of people would enjoy it, but they think that Spider-Ham's like kind of like a gag kind of thing. But I think the story is really cool.
He's a gag in the same way Ambush Bug's a gag, which means he's a gag, yes, but he's also.
But it still can be a cool story around it. I think it's the hook, but it has the meat too. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just like Ambush Bug. You know?
Debatable.
I'm telling you, Joni DC and Ambush Bug can save every universe in the DC multiverse if they had the right producer. Is that the point?
And this book has it.
I am technically a producer, and I would be happy to loan my services to DC. But no, essentially the whole, because hey, you want some great detectives, some great I outsmarted everybody views. The BoJack Horseman gag is exactly that, because it is about Mojo not understanding who Black Colt is.
And back in the 90s, man.
Black Colt.
Well, because that's who the Larvaverse Black Bolt is Black Colt.
Yep.
And so he makes him into BoJack Horseman because he's trying to make adult animation because that's what the kids watch these days.
Okay, and Charlie, I have one question. Wouldn't you just kill for a Howard the Duck and crossover with Spider-Ham? I think that would be good.
Have they not done that already?
I feel like they haven't. If they have, please somebody at me the issue number. I will
I mean, you know what? I think you're right. I don't think they ever have.
I'm pretty sure I would own it if they did.
Yeah, no, the closest they ever did. And to be fair, Peter Porker wasn't this dominant until recently.
That movie, Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, I mean, really, into the actual Spider-Verse, it was a little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah, the comic series and the movie.
That was his breakout in the comics, and then, after the Spider-Verse, now he's a character. Although they did call him out in the Spider-Man universe. Basically, this is something that's been building for a long time. This is a classic example of the lunatics taking over the asylum, of the people who read the characters years ago now get to write comics and stories and cartoons and say, you know who we should put in here? Spider-Ham.
Yes.
And Marvel, we will write it for you. The Spider-Ham Howard did that crossover team up.
Oh, gosh,
I don't even know who I would want to be the artist though. That's the hardest part. There's so many good choices. But yeah, we need that book. Just even if it's a one shot, I'll take it.
I want them to reboot Marvel Team Up, but it's all Spider-Ham and Howard the Duck.
I thought you were going to say Howard the Duck every issue.
Wait, no. So Howard the Duck, no, that was Rocket Raccoon. Howard the Duck and Rocket Raccoon had a crossover. But no, it hasn't been Spider-Ham yet.
Time to get on it, Marvel.
Yeah, I mean,
take my money, please.
And not for nothing, Howard the Duck's in the ether. He was in both Guardians and Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
Because way more important than a person with bulletproof skin is
a duck.
Quack Fu. Or Duck Fu, depending on the writer.
Oh, I wonder if he'll be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or Doctor Strange.
That might be just like their in gag from now on or something like that.
Well, I mean,
Stan Lee.
Which is what he is in the Marvel universe too.
He's the new Stan Lee.
I would love, especially if they give him a. I would love to see Howard the Duck make a cameo in every Marvel film. I would live for that, but I know it's not always going to work. Really, what they really need to do is introduce Beverly, and then Beverly you know what? They should just contract. I'm blanking on her name. Caroline in the City.
Leah Thompson.
They should have Leah Thompson. So we want you to do a cameo in every new Marvel film as Beverly until you die. Could you do that for us? Here's $1 million. For the next 40 years of your life.
Lifetime. I'm sure they'll get more than that.
Yeah. Well, they'll talk. Her agent won't renegotiate after 6. But yes. So, no. But to have Beverly be in every one. And when it's appropriate, you can have Howard show up. But you just have her walk in and say, I should tell you about, my boyfriend Howard, I don't think would agree with that. It's like, or me and Howard broke up. Have a whole storyline over the next phase of just Leah Thompson talking about her relationship with Howard in every cameo, in every film. That is your $1 million idea, Marvel. That's your connective tissue.
And on that note, since I know you boys have to go do the other show.
And Lilith is sobering up.
On that
Well, no, I've been sober the whole time, fortunately. But I do just want to shout out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 50. I can't believe it got this far, but it's so good. It's still not too late to catch up, guys. If you're a fan of the original Power Ranger show, I think you'll really like the book. The artwork's great. The stories are great. They actually pick up and like resolve storylines that were forgotten. So just saying, 90s kids rejoice and unite.
And just, I haven't looked at the list yet, but I'm pretty sure my comic guy said this is going to be there's not much coming in this upcoming week. I don't know if it's because it's 4th of July week or what.
Yeah,
but,
probably.
Like that Walking Dead special's coming in, but besides that, yeah, I got to look at the list. I don't know if there's much of anything coming in. That was going to be my other question. I mean, I don't want to drag this out, but do you think this whole situation has permanently damaged the comic industry? Are we gonna get like drips and drabs from now on? They're never gonna go back to the levels they were at, are they?
I mean,
I think give 2 years, we'll be back to where we were.
What do you think?
I just think right now it's a hard time.
Oh yeah,
because I know a lot of companies aren't even going like actual back to offices, like major corporations, till 2021. So
yeah, and for what it's worth, I mean, here's what I'll say. Honestly, I think DC moving to the West Coast was probably a mistake.
I agree, sir. They've been cursed ever since. Like I'm
going to say that Marvel,
that was their good luck charm
in the New York area. I think first off, I think New York is actually doing pretty well. And for what it's worth, if you are a comic book writer or a comic book drawer, artist, as they say, I think most of that work can be done digitally. Yeah. And it gets to this point where it's like, I need to make sure I have a good scanner. I think half of the delay is like, okay, how do we get a scanner to this guy's house? How do we get stuff that
Amazon?
Well, no, but you have to find the right scanner. You have to find the equipment.
Half of them just draw it digitally now, right, Lil? Then they just email them over?
And they can send it in from those, just depending on what.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an artist.
I don't know if they've standardized everything though. I think a lot of people, like especially if you're like a major artist and you've been doing something a certain way, you don't really have to adapt because why?
Exactly, and I think that's most of your delay. I can totally imagine a world where in the future, comic book writers get to work.
The younger artists you get, the better they are with technology already there. They don't have to learn a new thing with a steep learning curve and things like that.
And Marvel loves giving new artists a big break because they get to pay them less. Hey, you're a new artist and writer. How would you like to do that work for less money?
That's standard in any industry, so it's not.
I know, but Stan Lee made it sound good.
Well, because it's prestigious to work at Marvel or DC, one of the big two. It just is.
I'd work for less money there, sure.
I love how Charlie was like champing for a job at DC while he's wearing that big Marvel shirt.
Hey, people work for both. It's fine. I mean, you have we all love characters from different, universes.
It shows I have
me, I'm Archie right now, so it's fine.
Hey, I would love to work for Archie. I want to do their reboot of The Shield. I've
never heard a bad thing about artists or writers working at Archie. I will just throw that out there. Like either they have hella good publicity or they just really treat their employees.
Yeah, there was a whole issue with the one lady boss, but yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, so there was a weird dark time where no one knew what to do, but yes, we all understand that. Yeah, no, Archie.
I blocked that from my memory. Thank you, Charlie.
Hey, I watched a lot of The Company Man, and it's like, or actually, was that comic story? I forget who did that thing, but it's like, oh wow, Archie had a real dark period there for a bit. Okay, that was they were about to do the whole relaunch, and then someone didn't want to do the whole relaunch, and it got ugly. But anyway, they did the relaunch, and now Archie is really amazing and really popular and doing great stories without sacrificing what made them great. I just want them to do superheroes so I can write for them too.
Hey man, write into the editor. You never know. Archie's still that kind of company where you can do that.
I'm going to figure that out. Yeah. I mean, I would love to write. I would even like to write, even though, honestly, I think the earlier Flies are better than the 80s reboot Flies. But yeah, I'd love to write a new Fly story. Those were actually my first superhero toys, because I lived in Michigan and those were the superhero toys we could get, was the Mighty Crusaders toys, which I didn't even know there was
children.
I didn't even know there was a comic book tied to them. I was like, that's almost Captain America. That's almost Spider-Man. That's a completely different character who might be Cyclops. I want these characters. And then I had action figures to fight. And then the Secret Wars toys came out. But they were more expensive. But actually, the Mighty Crusaders toys were larger and kind of cooler. They were better designed. They were more like He-Man. So, in my little mind, I've always loved the Mighty Crusaders expressly because of the toy line, which is probably the most obscure toy line in the world now. Probably almost as obscure as the Dungeons and Dragons line of toys that were put out in connection with the cartoon, but did nothing from the cartoon.
I need it bigger.
Which is crazy because they had Strongheart, who was the one, like, I guess the only D&D owned character. So all of the Marvel characters never got toys. It is so messed up what happened with Marvel and TSR. I don't even want to talk about it. Get us out of here, Philip. Tell us about Hunt a Killer.
Let me enjoy this.
Anyway, yes. So if you would like to discuss anything we talked about tonight or hire any of these young, talented people, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors. Hear this podcast in crystal clear HD on your tweaked audio headphones. That's right. Find all links to that in the show notes. Hunt a Killer, the game taking America by storm.
Yes, where you too can work with private investigator Michelle Gray.
That's right. And so be one of the cool kids. Get that. And for you educated types, go to Amazon and pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback, volume 1, because volume 2 is in the works. And when you do that, use the link for Amazon right down there in the show notes. Because remember, got to help support this show, the Southgate Media Group Network, and Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Go back and look at my history, and you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Mark my words.
Still waiting on the new drops, Rob. Love Hellfire.
How dare you throw shots at our dear beloved Master Doom, first of all. Anyway, if you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire or on Instagram with all the cool kids and grandparents, apparently, at Lilith Hellfire 86 or at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Can you not talk and let me enjoy this?
Charlie, yes, sir.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in the old-fashioned email way, the way our ma's and pa's once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a show I watch every Wednesday night at 10 p.m., like some kind of 20-year-old, at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing.
Thank you, Maz.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to complain about that they preempted that here and in many other areas of the country. So I had to watch it.
Talk about that.
For what?
There was some kind of COVID special here, and I think other places where they're having bad weather. It was
at
like
10 o'clock?
weather watch. I know. I'm like, you could have did this anytime, anywhere. Why now? Give Agents of Shield a clean last season. Come on.
You're on Eastern time. It's not like that was like, well, technically this is only 9 o'clock on,
Well, it's all over the country too. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, to watch it on demand the next day, like some of those savage millennials. Anyway, for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
I don't mean to insult millennials, though.
Hey man, we actually are even worse savages. We watch it for free without the ads. Just saying.
I'm just gonna say, it's like it's ABC. It is an ABC show.
Exactly.
At 10 p.m. You know what? There's some affiliate. You've got an affiliate who's being all. I don't know if I want to be an affiliate anymore. Maybe I'll go.
There was a couple places around the country. It wasn't just one affiliate. And again, why wouldn't ABC preempt something they don't own?
No, but I'll bet you it was a non-ABC owned affiliate. It was. What was that? Who's that company nobody likes? They're like more right wing than Fox. I forget them, but it was probably them.